Alright, just wanted to make a quick video about the Pat Tritle Jenny that I'm building here. Just to give a little progress update. Since I'm an inexperienced builder, I would say I've only built one other plane by Pat Tritle, and it was the Just Aircraft Highlander. Wasn't super impressed with the way it came out just because I'm new, and I guess I had higher standards for myself, but it flies still, and I am somewhat just proud that to make something like that with my own hands. So I wanted to make a World War II plane because that's kind of what I'm into as far as aircraft goes, and so I kind of thought to myself, regardless of how hard it may be, I just want to do that, and then maybe I'll feel a little more accomplished with the outcome because it's going to be something that I really enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy the Highlander, it's just this is going to be more up my alley. So anyways, I started off with just doing these wings here, and everything goes together really well. Something that I'll keep in mind if you are new at building, if you're watching this, or something just to think about in general. I messed up with this on the Highlander, but with these ribs here, the very first one, you really need to make sure that you do that level, because if you happen to have any degree other than 45 degrees, it's going to connect into the fuselage weird, and you're going to have a gap, which is what I do have with the Highlander, but there's a lot of different mistakes that I made with that I'm trying to catch this time around. And then another thing with this model specifically, at least, this R2 rib here, I don't know if you can see any of this, but the rib doesn't sit on this piece here perfectly, and so you have to kind of notch it out. And I don't know if that's just me doing something wrong, or that's just, a lot of these things you have to modify, and nothing's really perfect out of the kit. So that was something that I ran into. And then just kind of, not taking my time. This A8 piece where your control horn will go into, on the other wing, I actually did it backwards. So you can see, maybe, I'm not sure, I can't see the camera right now, but where the servo will go into and where that servo arm comes out, I have the control horn. I put it in backwards. It's over here, so I'm going to have to kind of make another notch for that, which not the end of the world, but it's just one of those things to be mindful about. Something that I'm doing this time around that I was scared to do the last time, because these are really brittle models, I would say, doing the stick building like this, but I've actually been using this Dremel that I just got at Harbor Freight for shaping like the leading edge and the ailerons, and I tell you, it's been a lot quicker of a process. It's not perfect, and you do have to go over it again, but it's quicker to shape, and then you can fine sand it to your liking. But yeah, I started with the wings. I just wanted to get those out of the way because I knew that they'd go fairly quick, which they did. And then I wanted to do all the boat outline things, so I did the vertical stab, and it came out really well. And so what I was going to do next was actually the horizontal stabilizer, and I kept trying to get it off this former here that I made, and every time I'd break it, mostly just not being patient. So I gave up on that for now, and I'm actually working on the fuselage, but as you can see, I covered this time. The last time I used the Hanger 9 monocoat or polycoat, whatever it's called, kind of the plasticky stuff. I'm not sure how to describe it. And I didn't really like working with it. And I thought with a World War I model like this, it would probably look a little bit better if I tried to do this polyspan. And it looks really cool. I'm happy with the way that it's turning out, and in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to work with. If you just use this Stix-It stuff here by Sig, you put that on first, and then this goes down. You can put it on kind of the same way that you do the Hanger 9 stuff, where you just iron it on. And then I just paint nitrate over it. And I've only got 2 coats on it. I'm not sure how many coats to do or how many coats I want to do, but I really like kind of the transparent look of this, honestly. I saw a model on one of the RC groups for Pat Trittle's build, and they had their model pretty much transparent and just painted on decals, which I might go that route because I really liked it. But so all of these control surfaces are hinged. I'll grab this here to show you. If anybody does Pat Tritle models, they might be aware of this. But these by Rabid Models, they're 3D printed tools to help hinge your control surfaces with just number 11 X-Acto knives. And man, they sped up the process a lot. So this one here just goes on the leading edge if you're doing like your ailerons on your wings. And there's different sizes, not for the knives, but how far you want it offset. And so that has been super handy. And then he also makes these ones here, which I use to hinge the vertical stab, and I'll use on the horizontal as well. And they have different sizes of these as well, depending on what size balsa you're working with, where you can put it in there, draw a line, the midline, and then you can just, if you don't have to really do that, but then you have a spot same as these where you can just shove a X-Acto knife in, and it makes your life way easier. So I highly recommend doing that if you're working with this smaller balsa. And then let's see. So now I'm pretty much just working on the fuselage now. And what I'm gonna do differently that I didn't do with the last model with this is I'll see if I can I'll zoom in just a little bit here just to show you what I'm working with. But I'm just about done kind of framing it all up, and I'll glue it. I'm gonna pull it off of this, off these plans, and I'm gonna build the second half of it right over the top of it with a piece of parchment paper in between. I've seen people do that. I'm just always scared of gluing the two sides together, but I think I understand now how you can do it and not glue them together, as long as you're not putting these pins through where there might be, glue seeping in and connecting the two pieces. So yeah, once I get these together, I'll be pretty excited, and I can kind of start dry fitting some things together, and yeah, we'll be well on my way. So I'm excited for this model. I'm trying to keep up with, I'm starting a little bit of a build thread on the RC groups, so if I can link that, I'll link it, and you can ask me any questions there, and then also you can comment on this and ask questions. But I'm not experienced by any means, but if you have any reservations about, maybe building, or you've only done ready to fly or ARFs, this is definitely a bigger step to take in the hobby, but it's not as hard as you think. And if you just stick to the plans and take your time, it's you'll have a flying model and something that you can be proud that you made with your own two hands, which I think is a little bit lost right now in the hobby. So yeah, anyways, that's just a quick little update and review on what I'm going to be doing here with this Jenny.